Hey everyone, I'm back. Joanne, thanks for filling in for me, and I hope you guys had a good week during my absence. This week's theme is kind of like the World Wide Whoop, and the word is designer, and I don't exactly have a specialty in which I have knowledge in, so I'm just gonna go with the only word I could think of when I think of designer, and it's not fashion, believe it or not, it's social sciences. And I'm thinking of designer babies. And if you don't know that, it's basically with new technology, genetically modification, parents could modify the genes of their child so they could decide what they want to have. For example, if they wanted their baby to have brown eyes and black hair, then they could do that. If they wanted blonde hair and brown eyes, they could do it. So that's basically designer babies. You literally design your own baby. Now, obviously, there are ethical reasons why this would be an issue. So, and I don't want to go into that, but just so you know, I'm against it. But I do see why people would want it. For example, if you knew your child would have a disability, you may not want to have a child that has to live with disability. Even though there's nothing wrong, it's just that, I mean, really, if you had a choice, would you make them go through life like that? Maybe one day when the world is fully accessible, then maybe it'd be okay. But yeah, now it's really up to the person. Going into a lighter subject, I missed last week's theme, which was, I believe, crushes, and I kind of feel bad for ditching and leaving it to Joanne to do, whether she wanted to or not. So I guess I'll tell you about crushes and my life. I'm not immune to crushes, but I am just not really in this right state of mind to have one. And I kind of agree with Jess. I'm at the stage where I would probably kind of try and go beyond the crush. Like, for example, generally, I kind of try and get to know the person by becoming friends with them. But then actually telling them is kind of a whole other awkwardness. For example, you could go to a complete stranger and ask them out on a date, or you could kind of get to know the person a little bit, become friends with them, which then it becomes a little also awkward when you tell them because, you've been friends and then suddenly you want something different. That might be a little strange. I personally think that both methods are fairly messy. I've also noticed that casual dating is somewhat gone, if it was even here to begin with. Like, these days, it always seems like, oh, I like you. And then if they like you back, or at least have some kind of interest back, boom, it's a relationship right there. Now, a reason why being friends before you tell them would be good was so that you at least know something about the person. So that kind of makes up for the lack of dates, and you might actually get to know the person better as friends than a few dates. And kind of going back to the idea of the old days, it seemed like back then you could go to someone that you didn't know but you had kind of an interest in, and you could kind of like casually ask them out, like, do you want to go get some coffee? And I'm not sure if there's a pattern or a trend, but the latter situation, casual dating, doesn't seem to happen that much. In terms of my personal life, which I'm sure you're all dying to know, with crushes, they never usually turn out well. Mainly because either I don't act on it, as in I don't tell the person, or because things just don't go as planned. And it's kind of hypocritical because I generally tell my friends I follow the philosophy, if you don't plant the seed, nothing will grow. Which basically means that if you keep your feelings to yourself, nothing is going to happen because the other person doesn't know how you feel, and no one else really knows how you feel, so you can't really expect them to act any differently. Hence the single life I've always been, the single life I will likely stay. I would also kind of like to apologize for my absence in basically just being involved. I've been back for the past few days, but I haven't talked to anybody on something other than YouTube, and I feel really bad, but oh my gosh, schoolwork is just killing me. I mean, I've been so tired, I've been so lazy, and I'm just not into it anymore, so I apologize for that. Hopefully things will get better, and I still cannot wait for the summer. I am just gonna relax. Or no, I need a job. On that cheery note, bye!